Hey everybody, Mon Caveman here. I decided to do a little experiment today with charring different materials. I've done char cloth before. I have a stash of char cloth in my fire kit, which I'll go through and show you guys later on in the video. But some of the things that I haven't tried charring before, in particular, is these wood pieces, along with some of the hemp rope as well. I wanted to try experimenting with that. I've seen the charred wood done. I mean, you can go to the stores and buy charred wood for your charcoal, so you know that that can be done. And I've seen other videos where the results have been pretty good with this. And these pieces are just from a paint stir stick, actually, which I just baton down into these little pieces. And I decided I had some of the hemp cord around, and I wanted to try that out and try charring that. I haven't seen any videos on this, so I'm not too sure as to how to prepare it, if fluffing it up or what have you, but learning process, so I'll see. But I got that all rolled up and ready to go. And what I'm going to be using to char it with is I got the grill stand from my canteen, and I'm going to be using Sterno to heat it up. I don't have the proper fuel canisters for my cook set, and I tried to see if it was going to fit on this. I didn't think it was going to, and it didn't. So I got to use the Sterno and try that out. So I'll be back in a moment after I set it up. We'll see what happens. Oh, and I'll be charring it in this Altoids tin as well. So this goes along with my fire kit all the time. So I'll be right back. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to go after is the hemp cord. Let's get the fire steel out. Hopefully it should light with that. So I got the hemp cord. We'll just wait for that and see what happens. There we go. This is just probably about a minute into it, and I was calling it hemp cord before. I have no idea why. What it actually is jute twine, just in case anybody was scratching their head about that. But we got that smoking up pretty quickly, and we'll give that till the smoke stops. We'll be right back. Well, it's probably about, I'd say probably about maybe 2.5 minutes in. You can see it's starting to smoke up pretty good. It was coming around on the sides too, but right now it seems to be coming primarily out of the pilot hole. To be expected for anybody who's going through and made their own char cloth. I know, it's always a fascinating process for me. I have a lot of fun doing it. So, but we'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay guys, we're back. I wasn't timing it, but I'm going to guesstimate that this probably took probably about 20 minutes or so. And as you can see, it was definitely charring quite a bit of the center. I'm sure if I left it on there for a little bit longer, it probably would have gotten the whole thing. But for demonstration purposes, this is definitely good enough. The other thing too is that with the Sterno, it is just hitting basically right in the center of that, which you can tell where that flame was concentrated and charred the most. I'm sure if I would get that into a bed of coals or being surrounded on all sides, it would be a lot easier. So let me put this down for a second, and I'll take the ferro rod and we'll see how it catches. So hold on. Now it's not breaking up like I thought it might. It's actually still got some good strength to it. It's definitely coming apart. It's definitely pretty fibrous. A lot easier to break than what you would. So I'm going to take that this. Just roll that up a little more. And this is the first time that I've done this with jute twine, so just having fun with it. What are you doing? Try one more time. So it's definitely catching a coal, but I don't know, guys. I think just because it's so fibrous, whereas if you have the cotton pieces, it's able to nicely burn all across, and this just doesn't have the same abilities. But I think in a pinch, if that's what you had with jute twine, I mean, you can see right here that there are some coals, and given some nursing, that's definitely going to end up starting a fire. So if jute twine is what you prefer to use in its regular form, its uncharred form to start fires, which I've done in the past, and it works great. You see those coals? It's definitely holding it. So it's just another option if you need to char some materials and all you have is jute twine. It's definitely holding. I'd much prefer to have, cotton cloth to use. Again, because that cotton cloth just allows it. You're only giving that coal such a limited area to really burn. Although it's holding it pretty well, so it's doable. So what I'll do is I'm going to set up with the pieces of wood that I have there and try that out. So we'll be back. Alright, I got these pieces of the wood that I took from one of the paint stir sticks. We'll close that up, and I'm going to throw that more into the center. Utilize all that heat right underneath it and see how that comes out. We'll be back in a couple minutes, or judging for about 15 or so minutes, so we'll see you soon. Alright, so just for a bit of an update on here, this is the charred wood, little pieces of wood that I have in there, and it's smoking pretty good. This has been going for probably about a good 10 minutes right now. I suspect that's going to take a substantial amount longer, considering the mass of the wood, as much that it has to be charred. I wish I got it on film, but I didn't. I was playing around with the charred jute twine, and earlier you'd see that because it's so fibrous, that the coal didn't really have too much to grab onto, or if it was on one of those strands, it would be a small coal burning down, which is doable. It's not my first choice in any way, but for an experiment, it's nice to see that you can actually do that. I didn't doubt that it would char. I didn't doubt that it would hold a coal, but I was doubtful as to how big that coal was going to be. However, what I didn't get on film was that I took that mound of cold charred jute twine, and I bundled it up, and it took a couple sparks to really get it to where it really just blew up in a flame. And that's a lot easier than working with jute twine in its normal state, where you have to fray it up and get it going. It just really blew in a flame, and it lasted for probably about a good, I don't know, I'd say maybe about 60 seconds or so, enough as long as you have everything prepared to get it going. So as far as charred jute twine, if you have it in its bundle and you spark it maybe once or twice, get it really in, and get those sparks really in there in the center area of that charred jute twine, it really blows into flame. So, you know, it was a good experiment. It was good to see how it works. I'm going to experiment a little more on this, involving wax. I'm going to play around with the jute twine as well as the charred cloth, where taking that charred piece and maybe getting up little bundles and dipping them in wax, so you don't have to rely on having it in a plastic bag, which plastic bags work for having it in a container, where that way you have that charred material, but you just break it a little bit with that wax, and hopefully that wax which what candles do, that wax acts as a fuel, and hopefully will prolong that, where you'll get a spark in to get a real easy ember, and then hopefully get a flame out of that. So in theory I think that will work, but I'm going to practice that, experiment with that a little bit, which I'll probably do for a later video. No, not today, because I'm kind of running out of time, and but that's still yeah, it's still smoking up pretty good. So, but yeah, for a future video I'm gonna go through and experiment with that and see how that works out. But just want to show you guys this. I wish I got that on video, but as you can see, it definitely charred up. So it was a good way to use it, so you don't just have that one ember on one of those strands. Bundle it up, throw in some sparks, and it really blows up in a flame, just so you guys know. But for a future video, so we'll let this go for a little while longer, and we'll be back on that in just a little bit. Thanks, guys. Hey everybody, while we're waiting on this to really get going, actually we got some good smoke coming out of it right now. So yeah, just take a second to show you what I pretty much carry with me every day, my everyday carry. I have the Leatherman Wave. This is one of the newer versions of the Leatherman Wave. And I have the leather pouch, which on both sides you have these little elastic pockets that are on the sides, and then on the inside, for those of you who don't own one, those of you who do, you know what I'm talking about. And on the inside, once I get my thumb out of the way, you have the inside pocket right there, so which holds the toolkit. On the two side pockets, I have the this Gerber flashlight, which I use quite a bit. It gives off a good light, enough to see your path. I don't know how many lumens it is, but it's just enough so that you don't end up tripping over anything. And I have a ferrocerium rod, which I took off of another knife. I forget the name of that knife. I'll have to look it up and get it to you. And just wrap some electrical tape around the side of it, something to hold on to, and also so that it kind of has a grip when it's in that pocket. But just since I was sitting here waiting for this to go, I figured I'd share that with you. If you noticed during the video, I've been using the back end of the saw blade, which is really good at getting off some sparks, so I don't have to carry an individual piece to get sparks off of the ferrocerium rod. A lot better than using your blade, real nice sharp edge on that. So yeah, since I'm here waiting, I just show you guys that. So that's pretty much my my everyday carry right there. So I'll wait till this is done and I'll be back. Alright everybody, here we have the result of the charred pieces of wood, and I'll throw a spark on these and see how that goes. Just give me 1 second here. Looks like it charred pretty well. It seemed faster going than the jute twine. I don't know if that's just my imagination, but it seemed to be that way. Catch a little bit, but maybe it's not charred enough. Might have been a failure, guys. That's the way it goes, right? All learning experience. Unless my method is wrong, which if it is, I see it kind of setting in there, but not quite the way I was hoping it would. Try this one more time. If it doesn't go, then it doesn't go. So be it. Of course, I'm going to be tenacious. I'm not going to want to give up. I see it grab, and it kind of get on there, but it's not. It's really not. As you can see, it's charred all the way through, but it's not holding that ember. Yeah, I mean, this is basically just crumbling in my hand right now. So, I've seen it done before. Maybe there's some magical word that you're supposed to be uttering during the process. I don't know. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Got cut off. Ran out of minutes there. What I was saying, with the charred wood, I don't know if having to go through and get cut thinner slices. As you can see, it's definitely charred all the way through. I mean, this is basically what you can get at the store to throw in your grill. It was catching a little bit of the ember. It would stay there for a split second, but it wasn't spreading at all. I don't know if it's because that, it was the the wood from the stir stick. If that has something to do with it, if it was treated in some way, I have no idea. I'll try it with just some fallen debris that I can get out in the woods, and make some finer shavings with that. I swear I have seen it someplace before where it has caught and they were able to get a good fire off of it as well. So if any of you guys got pointers on that, either shaving it finer or anything, if you get any input on that, definitely put something down below. I'd love to hear from you. But all in all, in the end, the jute twine worked out pretty good. I mean, pretty much what I expected it to. I'm a little disappointed again with the wood. I actually had, I don't know why, but I was having more hopes on that. I knew it was going to be a little tough, but I was expecting more of an ember to be prevalent on that piece. So, but I'm going to experiment some more, and I'll make some videos on that as well. So I want to thank you guys for your subscriptions and for your comments. And until next time, guys, Martin Kidman out.